everyone, welcome to the Trans Am Series presented by Pirelli. It's round 3 and we're in Road Atlanta as we get ready for the TA Championship. And it's very interesting coming into round 3. Chris Dyson leads the championship, but by only 1 point. And that's because Paul Menard won last time out at Charlotte, but he is absent this weekend, giving a great chance to both Chris and the rest of the field. Talking of which, let's go down and talk to our champion. He's with Ben Sisson.
Thanks, Johnny. I am here with our current champion and leading the points right now, Chris Dyson. Chris, how are you going to stay the champion in 2022?
I think we've just got to do a lot of what we did in 2021, Ben, which is to be fast every time we come out and to be reliable. You know, Trans Am never lacks for excitement or drama. You've got deeper competitiveness throughout the field than we've had, you know, and you've got committed veterans here that know how to win championships. So, you know, you've got to come out every single weekend ready to win, ready to execute, and I think that we're prepared to do that this year as we showed at Sebring.
As you can tell, I like to go fast. Our race team is really well prepared. We like to look good, but we also like to dress good, and that's why we shop at Franklin Road Apparel. I own the company, and I wear the clothes that we sell in that store. So check us out. We carry all the top brands: Baldwin, John Barbados, Billy Reed, Goodman brand, and on down the list. So come see us, Franklin Road Apparel, Franklin, Tennessee.
If your tooling isn't quite ready and you need parts, and you need more parts than just a few, or if your run is just not that big, look to the experts in low volume production, three-dimensional services. Whether it's 10, 100, or 1,000 parts, we can meet your needs. And if it's 10,000, we can do that too. Three-dimensional services delivers high-quality parts for short runs, 70% faster than industry standards. Three-dimensional services. Prototype, production, proven.
Menards is the Midwest's ultimate home improvement store. Family owned since 1958, Menards is the one-stop shop where you always save big money. Get the Midwest's best selection nationwide when you shop online at menards.com. We make it easy to complete your projects around the house, big or small. From hardware to plumbing or paint to appliances, we carry it all. Visit menards.com today to save big money at Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
Hey everyone, welcome to Road Atlanta. It's a beautiful day here in Braselton, Georgia. Jonathan Green here with Adam Andretti, and Adam couldn't be more different than where we were last week in Charlotte. But looking forward to this. Round 3, it's early, but already 1 point between the two championship leaders.
Yeah, this is really heated up. Unfortunately, you know, one of those contenders won't be here with us this weekend to compete. But you know, that gives Chris Dyson an open opportunity to get back in control of this championship. So. That much different than where we were last week. We're looking at, you know, Michelin Raceway Road Atlanta here is your classic road course, one of the absolute best places in North America to drive a race car. It should be on everyone's bucket list, and not only if you're a race fan to come watch a race here, but as a driver, every driver that drives in North America wants and looks forward to driving here at Road America.
Well, it's going to be an interesting race, this one. Very close in qualifying and practice. And as you mentioned there, Paul Menard not here, and there was only 1 point between him and Dyson coming into this. And that really does create an opportunity for Dyson to bounce back because of what happened last time out at Charlotte with that burst tire. And also for the likes of Tommy Dreamy and Amy Ruman. And those girls and boys are hopping and getting ready. We've got it wrong, Adam. Why aren't we down there? That looks like fun.
It does look like fun. And I misspoke earlier. I said Road America. That was my mistake. I said Road Atlanta, obviously, at Michelin Raceway Road Atlanta. But yeah, the camping here is great. My wife and been down there, and our coach, all weekend long, and the crowd. We've had great race fans here all weekend long. You can see them there in the paddock walk. It is not its warmest day here in Braselton, Georgia, but the sun is shining. The wind is still a little bit gusty, so that could add a little bit of a challenge for our competitors here today.
Yeah, it's been chilly all day today, and we'll talk a little bit more about that. But now let's go down to the paddock and the pre-grid with Ben Sissel, our man down there.
Thank you, gentlemen. I'm down here in the fan walk at the Atlanta SpeedTour Michelin Raceway Road Atlanta for the TA XGT SGT GT race. Randy Hale, he's not here, but beautiful number 31 Whelen XGT car. This is a beautiful car. They've been struggling with it this weekend. But speaking of that, I just saw Jason Hart with G-Speed and in the Mike Weathers car. Jason, you were here with us last year as Justin Oak's teacher. I think you got the call last minute. How did this all come about?
Well, basically, I was coaching some guys through the weekend, flew home Saturday morning. Saturday afternoon, I'm jumping on the trampoline with my girls, and my phone started buzzing. They told me to get on the plane and get out here and race this car.
Nice. Well, that's crazy. That's kind of a crazy weekend. And you guys, if you know anything about Jason Hart, I need to change my fantasy football lineup in this XGT battle because I think you're going to be jumping up front. Jason, welcome back. We're going to come over here. Brian Gluck. Look at this beautiful car. This is a Factory 5 SGT car. Can you tell everybody, I've had a lot of questions. Is that a Ferrari? Is that a Corvette? Tell us what this thing is.
So this is a Factory 5 GTM. It's a kit car that Dave Smith and his guys up in Massachusetts build. They do the Kit Cobras and the Daytonas, and they're just a great organization, very veteran friendly, and Dave Smith and all the guys have been really good. As a matter of fact, our Scoville, the owner of Scoville Vodka is here, Greg, and they've come out to support us, another veteran-owned company. So a lot of veterans here helping us out.
Nice. I love it. This grid, you'll see a lot of red, white, and blue. Very good. Good luck out there.
Man.
Thanks for coming out. We're going to talk to Mr. McMillan here, who was with us just, a week ago? Less than a week ago at the ROVAL. Welcome back. You had a podium finish. You've got some bugs worked out since Charlotte. How's it feel?
Well, we've been battling it all weekend, heating issues, even as cold as it is. We threw something else at it this morning, so hopefully we got it fixed.
Nice.
But we got up to 235 degrees in qualifying, so I hope we got it fixed.
Yeah.
That ain't gonna last a while. So.
Yeah, well, good thing it's a little bit cool today.
Yeah, it's cool. Yeah.
But good luck out there. Let's talk to Kerry Grant. Look at this. I love standing next to you, man. Yep. So how's it feel? I know you're from Tennessee.
Yes.
You've been to Road Atlanta many times. What's your goal here this race?
Podium is the main goal, and maybe a couple of steps up higher than than normal. And just looking forward to today. Car's running great. I got new tires on after qualifying. I've been going faster every session, and a great day to race. So just looking to keep up with the 2 leaders and stay with it.
So you have no goals or aspirations to be a step higher than your dad?
Well, that's of course the goal. But he's been running awfully strong the last year and then this year. So we'll see. Anything can happen.
I love it. Kerry Grant with his dad, Milton Grant, longtime Trans Am supporters in these Porsche Cup cars. Then we go over here to Billy Griffin, man, always the sharpest dressed, but also the car sharply dressed also. How's it feel to be at Road Atlanta?
It feels great. I was just telling my wife we're surrounded by grant money here, so we're having a lot of fun. Car's running great. My goal today is to try to beat as many SGT cars as possible and have a lot of fun, so we're doing good.
Yeah, look at this, the GT car way up in the GT class. Nice job, Billy. You've been fast all time.
I have to say thank you to Osnay for always helping me out here. He always complains I don't ever mention his name out there, so I want to make sure that he says that we do acknowledge that he does all his hard work on this car.
What's his name?
Osnay and Scott.
Osnay and Scott, there you go. Right. See, he paid his taxes right there, right? Then we got Milton Grant talking to some fans. I don't want to interrupt, sorry, but Milton, I asked Kerry Grant his goal. He didn't even say to beat his dad.
I think he thinks I have the measure of him here because I've had so much seat time here.
Yeah.
So it's pretty good. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. We got a good challenge right here. So
I love it. Yeah, you're gonna have a good battle. So we'll talk to the battle. Milton Grant and this Porsche. Then we come over here to Danny Lowry, who's had a lot of seat time here this weekend in TA2 and now in the GT classes.
Right. Having a good time here at Road Atlanta with Trans Am.
Nice. And how do you explain Road Atlanta?
it's a bear dog, I'll tell you that. You know, a lot of blind turns. You need laps here to be fast.
Nice. All right, Danny Lowry, good luck out there. All right, and then we've got, I'm hearing from the producers, we need to move up front, but we've got Richard Grant here, another one of the Grants from Tennessee, out here in the TA class with Milton and Carey. Wait, I do need to talk to and welcome Jose Chacron. Thanks for coming out all the way from Panama. How's it feel to be at Road Atlanta?
It feels very good. Very nice road, very nice track, and, well, we're going to enjoy it.
Nice. I love it. Welcome. And then we have two-time Trans Am champion, back-to-back, Wally Dallenbach Jr. He had a great showing at Sebring. I know you have a ton of seat time here. You were great in the booth yesterday in TA2. What's your expectations for this race?
Well, I think for probably the first half of the race, we're just going to ride and see what we got. We didn't get a lot of practice this week. We had some problems, lost some practice sessions, but, I mean, I'm looking forward to it. This is a really fun racetrack, and had a blast racing with everybody at Sebring, so looking forward to it.
Nice. I love it. Wally Dallenbach in this Ultimate Headers. This is our TA Heritage Edition car. Beautiful car. We spoke to Amy Ruman earlier. Let's talk to Ken Twaits. Ken Twaits, you had a little challenge with Penteric up there, and you beat him. He went back out, beat you by like a thousandth of a second. Green flag drops. What's your strategy?
Well, you know, I'm on the outside going into turn one. We had a little problem at Charlotte, so we don't want to repeat that mistake. So I don't know. I'm just going to be conservative and see how it pans out here. David and I had a real good battle in qualifying. Hopefully the same thing happens in the race.
Nice. So if you read between the lines, I feel like that is a man on the mission for a championship. Anytime they kind of give you a conservative answer, that seems like they're running for points, running for a championship. We had talked about David Penteric earlier, Kreider Racing, new chassis with Ave Riley. Tommy Dreese here, he was with us, did really well at Sebring. Oh, no, Tommy, Road Atlanta. Tell us about your strategy at Road Atlanta.
Well, first of all, the fans here just been amazing this weekend. Pirelli, to all of Trans Am, the whole team, Green Light, Lucas, Lacey, Jagger Elin, I love you. This track's amazing. It is just one of the most amazing tracks I've ever been on. It's fast, it's technical, it's everything. We got Dyson to the right of me. What is that? Is there a song?
Yeah, Joker's
to the left. Yeah, here I am, stuck in the middle with you. Anyway, we're going to go battle. It's going to be a great fight, and yeah, just love you guys. All out, battle.
I love it. Tommy Dreese. Okay. We do need everybody to clear the grid, please. Please, everybody, spectators, to clear the grid. I'm hearing from officials we need everybody to clear the grid, except for you. You don't clear the grid. Chris Dyson, pole again. Road Atlanta. I know you've had a lot of past success in other series, but tell us about your strategy here at Road Atlanta.
Well, I just want to stay where we are right now, Ben. The car's been fantastic. You know, the All-Well Mustang's just been phenomenal since we got here, and we triumphed through a little bit of adversity yesterday to get on the pole and break the track record. And I'm not changing the car much. I'm just going to go out and try to keep the tires under it and keep it there all day, hopefully.
So when you go out in qualifying, it seems like you're breaking a lot of records. Is that also, not only do you want to hit the Motul Pole Award, but you want to start breaking some records, turning some heads here?
Well, yeah, and you know, to be honest, these new Pirellis, you know, the 18-inch for 2022 is just a spectacular tire. So I think we're going to see the track records fall everywhere, and if I could put my name next to them on the Trans Am history books, I'm happy to do that. I'm proud for the team.
Nice. I love it. So Chris Dyson up here on the pole, making Greg Pickett proud. All right, John Claggett, president of Trans Am, been with Trans Am a long time, been to Road Atlanta a long time. Seeing all these fans out here after the last 2 years that we've had, that has to feel pretty good.
Well, the 2 years of COVID weren't really fun to be around much, but yeah, it's great to see the fans come back, great to see a great field of cars to entertain those fans, so everything's good.
Nice. I love it. John Claggett out there. Well, ladies and gentlemen, at the grid, we're going to clear the grid if you don't mind. I'm going to pull in Tony Pirelli here. Tony Pirelli, come over here, talk to me. I know you love these big horsepower American muscle cars. Tony Pirelli, the owner of the Trans Am series. What's it like to be back at Road Atlanta?
It's always good to come here. The fans are great. This race course is so iconic, and with the history of Trans Am here, the drivers love it. If you poll the drivers nationwide, Road Atlanta comes up every time. It's just cool to be here, and how can you not love these cars? They're just fantastic. You know, for over 50 years, I've been a fan. It's just amazing to even be a small part of it.
Perfect. Well, there's Tony Pirelli, the owner of Trans Am. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, Bill, if I can get you to turn around this way. Bill Knox is going to give us our invocation. If you will please bow your heads, take off your hats for today's invocation.
If you'll join me in prayer. Heavenly Father, we give you praise for this fantastic day that you provided for us. We ask for your hand of protection upon all the drivers, the crews, the officials, and all the fans that are here. Father, we ask that you continue to protect our first responders and our law enforcement individuals and our military. In your Son's most precious and holy name we pray. Amen.
Thank you, sir. Awesome. Well, here we are, Michelin Raceway Road Atlanta. Now I'm going to go to Elena Ewis. Is that right? Yes. Beautiful yesterday. So take it away, Elena.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave? Well done.
Oh my goodness, absolutely beautiful. Well, I have nothing else to say, so Jonathan, Adam, back to you guys.
Excellent stuff, Ben. As always, a wonderful rendition of the national anthem. And Adam, so much to talk about here today. You were out in the thick of it yesterday. Cold conditions first and foremost. How did that affect your race, and how will it affect this?
Well, first of all, it's in the race car. You got chills from hearing that,
Yeah.
hearing the way she sung that our beautiful national anthem. And I always argue that we have one of the most patriotic sports that you could ever want. And but the cold, I think gave us grip throughout the race. It was it helped our grip levels, and I think that was a good positive for us. But then the wind kind of gave you, because it was gusty yesterday. It seems to be a little bit more steady today, so a little bit more predictable. Where ours yesterday seemed to be like it was very, very gusty. So you would come down here the hill into turn 12 that we're looking out of the booth here at, and it would feel completely different than going up turn 1. Turn 1 was like you were hitting a wall of air. And so it gave you a lot of good front pressure on the nose, and you got good front confidence, but it felt like you were pushing a sail all the way up the hill there, Jonathan.
Everybody I've been looking at doing a little bit of taping to the front of the grills, to the radiators. And there's two reasons I was told. One, obviously, it's cold. They want the engines to heat up, actually. Maybe get a little hotter, but it also helps the downforce.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it is definitely a twofold reward there about the cool temperatures. You can see everyone's got a different theory, too. You can see the new Riley there. They have all
what do you
kinds
think
of
of this?
fascinating ductwork. It's a looking race car for one. You could tell Ave and Riley left no stone unturned with it. It's I think it's going to be a very formidable competitor.
And we saw them back to back,
like anything else.
Back to back, didn't we?
Yeah.
The older one and the new one.
Yeah, it was.
It's a lot more sleek, as it were, at the back end.
Yeah, I forget how much narrower the chassis was in the back, but that saves a lot of weight and brings the center of gravity. You know, it lowers the center of gravity and all those type of things. So, yeah, it's a fascinating project. I think we're all anxious in the Trans Am Pack to see how that develops.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. It certainly sparked David Pintarek into action. Great qualifying between he and Ken Thwaites yesterday. Ken was, what, 1/1000th of a second quicker than Pintarek, and then it went out, and he beat Ken's time. That's great stuff. Here we go then. Chris Dyson in pole position. Tommy Dreese alongside him. Then it's Pintarek and Thwaites. Good battle between those two. And then next row, it's Amy Ruman and our heritage runner, Wally Dallenbach Jr. Then Panama's Cochran and Richard Grant, Lowry and Grant, that's Milton, and then Griffin, Carey Grant, Don McMillan, Jason Hart coming in for Mike Weathers, and Randy Hale in 15th place. And Hale has to start at the back. He missed the drivers' meeting, so that's another reason why he's back there. So he said he's just happy to be out there, and it wouldn't actually make that much difference to him. So he should make the meetings, though.
Yeah, no, you want to make the drivers' meeting. There's important information in those meetings, as you found out, Jonathan, as you've been able to attend these lately.
All right, let's head down to Ben Sissel as we get ready for the start. Come on. Ken Thwaites will be on board with him throughout today. I'm looking forward to what Ken can do here, but obviously this is Dyson's track, the number 20. He actually got his first as a Rookie of the Year that year, his first win at Road Atlanta, and he actually told me this morning that his father won his SCCA first runoffs here in a Datsun back in 1981. So the Dysons have got something to smile about when it comes to this track.
Yeah, a lot of love for Road Atlanta from every competitor, and Dysons are no exception to that rule. And been coming here myself personally since 1987, so like 35 years, and I've seen only a couple different configurations, but beautiful, beautiful place.
Let's head down to Ben Sissel for the start. Come on.
Thank you, gentlemen. It's an honor to introduce Mike McCooey, longtime supporter of Chris Dyson, CEO of Plaid Enterprises, to give us the most famous words in motorsports.
Drivers, start your engines.
Trans Am them roaring into action. Lots of stories to tell you as we get ready for the start of this one. Chris Dyson will be on board with him. Ken Thwaites will be on board with him. So plenty to look at throughout this race. And we're expecting a good battle, especially in TA. Let's just tell you the story of where we are as we're on board with Chris Dyson here. Chris Dyson, of course, had a great run at Sebring. He was unstoppable there, and it looked like he might romp for the rest of the season. And then suddenly, a couple of weeks later, he's in the wall on the ROVAL and out of the race. No points last weekend. Back here, though, as we've mentioned, this is a good and happy hunting ground for him. But it is too so for Mr. Dreese, Tommy Dreese. But we found out he's got a tweak back this weekend.
Yeah, he's starting to recover. He actually was taking advantage of one of his competitors' physiotherapists. Chris Dyson had his physiotherapist here, and lo and behold, that's what this Trans Am paddock's all about too, is not only if your race car's suffering and needs a part, if your body is suffering and needs some recovery, you have options down here, and I think that's just fantastic to know, the camaraderie.
And you're right, and it goes for all of you. I think that's the beauty of Trans Am, is that Dyson wants to race hard against Dreese, but he wants a fully fit Dreese.
Yeah, of course. No, you never want to beat your competitors off the racetrack. You want to beat them on there and fair and square and on the up and up.
Yeah, I talked to Tommy about it, and he said that it just happened a couple of days ago. He just tweaked it, and it's one of those funny things. I've had it too, and it's hard to get rid of. And he said it was affecting him in the braking. He hadn't realized until he saw the data that he was physically not braking as late as he normally did, just because of the back.
Yeah, you know, Road Atlanta has really great grip in the braking zones, and you're under hard compression into 10A, 10B, so you can really just dynamite the brake pedal, and that's something that if you're not getting the most out of that, then that's costing you time for sure. As we're on board there with the Lucas onboard camera. This is the Ford Mustang out of the Genelosi group there.
Good to have Paul back in the fray, as it were. And I think these guys, they're getting a new chassis come Laguna Seca too. This ROVAL Riley chassis that we've been talking about, that Pintarik is showing off today, and to much good use so far. He's been absolutely scintillating in practice, and these guys will have one, they say, for Laguna. So
well, actually, Jonathan, that won't be a Riley chassis. That'll be their own.
Okay.
That is their own design. That's Genelosi with their own concept, their own chassis. So this is going to be a totally different idea from where we had the Riley and Ave Riley concept. So it's going to be really interesting. You know, in the last few years of Trans Am, we've had some new chassis variations be introduced. You know, with Pancho Weaver, you know, that you have Boris Said coming in and winning races in his variation of the car. And that kind of kickstarted everyone to start rethinking, you know, the chassis builds in TA in this class. And that's where we're at right now with the new chassis. You know, Meissen is dominated with this car right here, the Altwell on board with Chris Dyson. That's a Meissen chassis, and it's good to see Mark Meissen back out here in the paddock this weekend. We've missed him earlier in the year, so again, it was like I was seeing some of Dyson's old band back together. Phil Ray was back down there again because he had some time off from his other commitments. So it was just really great to see them kind of bring it all back together after the struggles they had last week.
And as you can see, we'll be on board as Chris Dyson shows us his office and how he goes about his workday. And it's always a joy to watch Chris Dyson here at Road Atlanta. So we'll be on board with him. We'll also be on board with Ken Thwaites. And Ken is a man on a mission, no question about it. He's got a 4-man team this year. He's relatively new to TA, but boy, has he taken to it like a duck to water. And Ken has got that feeling, as you heard from Ben there, where he feels that there's a championship to be won here. And with a few breakdowns last time, including himself, he is determined to take that position and take it to David Pintarik this afternoon.
Great onboard shot there from the Franklin Road Apparel camera, and it's Kenny Thwaites. I've known him for, gosh, I would like to say 20 years, but I don't want to age either of us. But he's just a fantastic man, and he does a great job out here. And love him in the Trans Am paddock, as you said, relatively new, you know, in that sense. So I believe you're going to try and get us a Mr. Tommy Dreese on the horn, aren't you, Jonathan?
Yeah, we're going to talk to Tommy if we can. He's just talking to his team at the moment.
Okay, well, this is a great onboard shot here, too, with the Lucas on board with Ford. This is, again, a Ford Mustang. They've been massaging on this. This was a car that if you follow Trans Am, Oscar Tehran, you would have seen him drive this particular car last year. Obviously, a different livery and under different mechanical oversight, it being under the Genelosi camp. But they've got a beautiful, beautiful setup, and they've shown a lot of speed. Tommy was very, very fast here last year before an engine failure.
Well, let's see if we can dial up Tommy. He's just doing his radio check at the moment, so I just don't want to interrupt his team. He's just doing all his radio checks, and this time, next time round, will be green. Let's see if we can dial Tommy up. Tommy, this is the booth here. Can you hear us? How are you getting on? Tommy, this is the announce booth. Can you hear me? I got Adam and Andretti here, and we're just wondering how you're getting on and how you're going to play this one. Well, listen, best of luck. We're loving watching you and seeing you race, so good luck today, Tommy Dreese.
Well, what you were missing, what Tommy was actually saying was he's going to go after him. I heard that. Yep. I heard Tommy say it, and you know, like we were talking with Chris Dyson, there is no like mid switch. He's no dimmer switch. He's either on or off, and he's on right now. You can hear it. You can hear it in his voice. So.
Well, I said to you last season, I thought his season last year was the best I'd seen him for a long time. I know he's a former champion, but that was a few years back, and he just seemed to have, you know, settled down. Everybody was always saying that he's erratic a couple of years ago. Not so anymore. Tommy, he's had a few gremlins. He's swapped teams. He's with Paul Gentilozzi and this year, and I think there's a real sense that Tommy feels like he's got a championship to win.
I agree, and I think he's as focused as I've ever seen him for sure, and with focus comes a sense of calm. You know, if you're pulled in a lot of different directions, or if you're not 100% in, that's when things can get a little erratic for you out there. So I think that's what we're seeing in Tommy is his commitment to Trans Am, his commitment to his racecraft, and it's adding that sense of calm to him. As we're going to see him get side by side here out of turn 9. This is when we're asked to by the officials to get ourselves side by side, minimum scrubbing. You can still get temperature in the brakes, especially a day like today. They're not going to really beat you up too much about that, is keeping our temperature up so that we get a good clean start here.
Big day for David Tarek as he gets ready for this race in the new RV Riley chassis. We'll be on board with Dreesy and several others as we get ready to go racing here at Road Atlanta. TA is away.
Boy, it was hard for them to plant the power in this cold, and you can see that Chris Dyson got a little bit of wheel spin as they race down into turn 1 here side by side, with Dyson having the advantage up the hill.
Yeah, it's going to be a good start then for Tommy Dreesy. He's almost got alongside him, Wally Dollenbach Jr. in the Heritage car there, right in the thick of it as we go on board with Ken Thwaites over the crest and down the S's for the first time.
And it's going to take, with these temperatures, maybe a lap or two to get the pressures up to actually something drivable. And these 850 plus horsepower beasts, Jonathan, it is a handful when you're talking about these cold conditions.
Well, you've driven in a TA car here many a time. What's the key here and where do you pass?
You know, the biggest and the best passing place is obviously down in the chicane there at the end of the straightaway, 10A, 10B. And you got to set it up right here. This is turn 6, turn 7. You need to get the drive off of 7, get that drive off of 7. You got to stay in that toe, get a little bit of a toe like Tommy's trying to do here on Chris Dyson, and pop down there and really get deep on the brakes there for 10A.
This is going to be an interesting battle. I spoke to Dyson this morning, and he said, you know, I know like qualifying time was good, but I never count Tommy out in a race. He said, I think we're going to go wheel to wheel. They were having a bit of camaraderie about that tweak back, and as you say, they want to get it done on the track. They're good rivals, they're good friends.
Absolutely, and that's what we have there in the Trans Am paddock. And you can see David Paterick is not letting him go there in P3, and a great battle between P4 and P5 with Ken Thwaites and Amy Ruman, the champ, the two-time champ.
Yeah, we haven't mentioned too much about Amy Ruman. She got her first win back here in 2011 and went on to get 2 championships very soon afterwards. So Amy Ruman has fond memories of this place. So watch out for Amy too. She's in a good battle too now with Ken Thwaites.
Absolutely. You can see this developing, and right now it's about both of them are trying to save their stuff too and not push their pace too much either, because that can also help you or hurt you on the long run. So as they make their way through the S's, they're on the exit of the S's as they come down here into turn 6. It's hard braking zone into 6. You're down a couple of gears, rolling good corner speed here. A little bit of an acceleration and hard on the brakes for 7. Got to get a great run out of 7. That's so important. I cannot stress enough down this long straightaway here. They count these 2 as turns. That'd be turn 8 that they're maneuvering right there, that left-hander, that real soft left on the straightaway. And turn 9 is that approach down to 10A, 10B, our hard braking zone and our best passing area, Jonathan, as we see him approaching it here.
Yep.
What a great battle.
Yeah, you can see the McNichols 23 of Amy Ruman still there, shadowing Ken as they come up the hill. It's blind up that hill. That always frightens me, because if the car's in the wrong position, it's too late, right?
Well, that's why absolutely you need your marshals to be sharp, and we have new Flagtronics devices inside the cars that'll actually flash a yellow flag or black flag.
So this race starting to settle down. Chris Dyson just did a 1:20.495 on his second lap, and likewise Tommy Dreesy just 2/10 slower. So both of them on good pace as we watch this battle for 3rd and 4th.
Yeah, this is a fantastic battle here between Ken
4th and
Amy.
5th, excuse me.
Yeah, it's great battle here between Ken and Amy here. Like I said, as they end out turn 5 here, it's a great acceleration zone. He is not letting him breathe at all, and they seem to be kind of reeling in David Paterick ever so slightly. And then we have a little bit of a heritage battle here with Wally Dollenbach. He was suffering some porpoising, and I'm watching it right there, and fans of Formula One, you would also hear that a lot, the porpoising going on, and it's attaching and detaching the arrow on the front of the car, and I saw that as he approached into turn 6. So I believe they're still suffering that a little bit within their damper package, and that's something that, you know, I'm sure they're going to keep massaging on over there, Jimmy Frazier and the boys, and get it right. You know, that ultimate headers package with, you know, John Cloud is just one of the greatest people. He's a fun guy to be around, always has a big smile on his face, and Jimmy Frazier and his boys, got Norman Dave down there with them, and and they're just always fun to be around, and just such a huge wealth of knowledge and so many championships matched up. But I know Wally's down there having a blast. I know Wally is having a big grin on that face of his as he races up turn 1 there. Back on board here with Ken Thwaites in this heated battle. They crest the top of the X's there, turns 3, 4, and 5 there, Jonathan.
What's the key to the S's? We were talking to Patarek this morning, and he said he hadn't got the confidence yet because he's not sure what the car can do through there. Is it one of those places?
Boy, that's the word right there, is confidence. If you have a package that you're really confident in, and as a driver you trust yourself going down that hill, it's a commitment area. You have to really, really commit to that spot. And absolutely, you hit the nail on the head right there, Jonathan. Confidence is key.
Ken Thwaites, our former XGT champion, turned TA racer, and ever since he has, he's just got quicker and quicker, and he really is showing great signs of what he's learned in the last few years. It's a really good story, Ken Thwaites. He's invested in the championship as well, and is a big part of the Nashville event, but now has a 4-car team. We'll see Carl Rydquist, we'll see more of Menard, not here this weekend. Oh no, David Patarek turns it round at 10B.
Oh, that's a shame. No, that's a shame, and that puts Ken Thwaites right into a podium position. Now, this is a fight for the last podium spot here between Amy Ruman and Ken Thwaites.
Yep, he's got it righted, and no damage. That's the main thing.
Yeah, that's the key. That's the key. He's free and clear to go, and like I said, he's still learning this package, and when you have a different aero balance, it's a great battle up front. Let's get to that one right there, because I was watching it develop in front of us right here, Jonathan, and Dreesy is all over, and they are setting a pace right now.
Yeah, they are.
That that's going to be a tough one to sustain, with the tire wear, and see how the tire wear goes over the course of this full 100 miles here at Michelin Raceway Road Atlanta.
Yeah, Dyson just did a 1:19.7 and a 1:19.6 from Tommy. So Tommy just a smidgen quicker that last lap as they both challenge each other. But this is what we wanted from this race. 1:19.63. That's quick round here.
I mean, look at this. This is 100. It's going to be 177 miles an hour before they pull the anchors here, Jonathan. That is absolutely cruising. I don't care who you are. And so lots of speed in these cars. And he had a little bit of a toe there. And I tell you, I think he's definitely got the mirror full. And it's always nice to have a rabbit there. But catching someone and passing him, especially when they're Chris Dyson, are two different things. And Tommy Dreesy knows that quite well.
Yeah, we were privileged to listen to Chris this morning as he basically held court with his guests. All his sponsors are here and their families, and he was telling them about the track, telling them about racing, and a big weekend for him. And of course, the head of Plaid did the race command, and one of his longtime sponsors. Yeah,
it's a big, long-time supporter of his, and not only in the Trans Am series, but just in I believe in business and guidance and all that. So. A lot of respect between those two gentlemen. Got to meet him this morning in the hauler there, and it was a lot of fun to share some stories. And before we got to wish our good luck to this man who's taken the command of this race, and as he heads out of turn 7 down this long back straightaway, let's see what he gets. Now in the toe, we know that it was 177 miles an hour for Dreesy behind Dyson. Now let's see what Dyson's top speed is here.
About the same. 78.
Oh, he's 178 without a toe.
Okay,
so he's really got some good horsepower underneath the hood of that Ford Mustang. They're going to come into some traffic, some GT traffic here at a very inopportune time on the bottom of 12, and that's going to suck Tommy Dreesy right up on the tail.
SGT Factory 547, and not where he needs to be, as some problem or other.
What a cool car, though.
Very cool.
You got to learn a little bit about it, and it's just kind of a marriage of a whole lot of great cars out there in the concept.
I saw Brian Gluck afterwards, and he's got camouflage all over because he's an Air Force pilot as well by trade. So he does this sort of part-time, but he said there's a lot of different cars. He said it does look a bit like a Ferrari at the front. It does look like a GT40 at the back. It's got a Porsche engine. So it really is the ultimate kit car.
And you're watching Dyson get a little bit of a gap here on Tommy. This is kind of the biggest gap I've seen Chris have. The only Dyson up here over the last lap and a half has been some traffic.
Key corner here, 7.
And you can see how Dyson's really launching quite well as the tires are starting to wear. He isn't suffering as much of getting the power down as you see in Tommy. Tommy's losing the draft now, something that he has not done the whole race, so he's out of the draft.
And of course, there's always a possibility with a 40-lap race that we could get a full course yellow, and obviously traffic coming into play now as it is here.
Yeah, the GT traffic has been a real struggle so far. And really, really good work there by, I believe that was Milton Grant in the Porsche, making sure that that made it clear and free area. That's the biggest thing, is just to be predictable when you are traffic. And this is multi-class racing. That wasn't necessarily slower traffic in that class. That was just slower traffic to what's out there in the overall leaders here in Chris Dyson and Tom Treacy.
Adam, we talked about this at Charlotte, but as the fuel load comes down and as you wear the tires and as you get into the race further, the car changes. Now, we talked about it on the ROVAL. What about here? How does the car work underneath you, and how do you work to make it work for you?
Well, that's a beautiful part about Trans Am and the TA cars. There's quite a bit more adjustment that they have in the cars as opposed to TA2, where we only have a brake bias adjustment. So you still have brake bias adjustment inside of this TA car. However, you also have roll bar adjustments, so you can stiffen or soften the roll bars. So usually you're, depending on your balance of the car, but with a heavier fuel load in the rear, you would tend to run them just a little bit softer to try and comply with that. And then, again, as the balance comes to you. So it just depends on your balances in the car as well.
Just heard from Ben in the pits that Byron Gluck, the 47, the Factory 5 car, he reckons it was a flat tire. That was all it was, but they were checking it over all the same.
Well, that's fantastic news to hear, because that doesn't necessarily end their race, so they could get back out there and still make something out of this in that GT class for sure, as we see some good races developing around the track as well. As this race between Kenny Thwaites and Amy Ruma has not gone anywhere. The battle is still on and strong. And don't look too fast, but Wally Dallenbeck has broken that gap, and he's starting to gain on this battle up here. So if Kenny and Amy start racing each other a little bit here, it's going to draw this battle right to them.
Beautiful sound of TA here at Road Atlanta into turn one. A little bump into there. Can upset the car, but not Ken this time. Through comes McMillan in the number 51. He's currently 15th overall and fourth in SGT.
You got
led by Danny Lowry at the moment.
David Paterick right there is back in the mix of things
as
well.
He's going to want to get on he's going to hope for a yellow so he can catch up a little bit, because there's nothing wrong with the car, as you can see. One thing that really sort of astounded me was how much the driver's in the middle of this car compared to the older car.
Yeah, I mean, it's all about, getting that center of gravity where you need it. And I'm, like I was talking down there in the paddock with some of the competitors, and, I'm sure, Tony Ave and Bill Riley left no stone unturned when they were designing this car and really dissected the rule book of Trans Am to the 9th degree. So it's right there at the limit, I'm sure, and it's going to be very interesting to watch the development.
And it's not an evolution, it's a revolution.
Yeah, it's a beautiful, beautiful car. It really is. It's a beautiful piece. It's got some really, I love the way they're doing the ride height adjustments on it. It's really, really some intelligent engineering on it. And it's something that you would expect out of the minds of Tony Ave and Bill Riley.
Back with Wally Dallenbach in the number 4. That's a heritage car, and if you're wondering what that means, you can work it out. TA Heritage Championship. The older TA class vehicles no longer eligible for the National Championship, and the drivers need to have some Trans Am history. And I think that the legend that is Wally Dallenbach Jr. actually does fit into that category as one of the greats of Trans Am.
I gotta imagine driving with that porpoising effect, Jonathan. It's like driving with someone who doesn't know how to drive a manual transmission. It's just got to be shaking yourself to have death in there.
Yeah, you need a mouth guard in.
It's going to be so uncomfortable over 100 miles. So, my hat's off to you, Wally, hanging on to that thing, because that's got to be a tough battle out there. But he is out there, and he is fighting like he always does. The legend of Trans Am, that is Wally Dallenbach Jr.
Yep. Great to see him back out there. And you know what? He came in the booth yesterday, and I think he and Ray Everingham were really impressed with modern-day Trans Am and excited to be part of it, not just on track, but also as part of the commentary team, because it's a sport that's been so good to them, and they love it, and they want to see it thrive, and it is.
My rookie year at Daytona in Trans Am and TA2, Wally came in and was teammates with Cameron Lawrence, as a matter of fact, at Miller Racing at the time, I believe. Mike Miller was owner at the time, and what is now Stevens Miller. So let's watch the evolution of TA2 and where he drove it, which was quite a bit different to where it's evolved to now, especially on these Pirelli tires. Just like we're seeing in front of our faces, TA evolve into a whole new level with this beautiful new tire. This is the baddest GT car on the planet now, Jonathan. Nothing goes faster in the GT class in the world.
Over the crest they come, always tough, this section of the track, downhill. Although you were saying to me this morning, when you're in the car, you don't notice how deep down into this valley you go.
Yeah, you almost have to drive it from the outside to get an appreciation for the elevation change here. We've always noticed that in race cars. Same thing like last week at the banking in Charlotte on the ROVAL. You don't really feel the banking when you're in the race car. When you're standing there on your feet, oh my goodness, it's like you're stacked on top of a building. But, you know, in a race car, it really kind of flattens out. And same thing here on the race car. Oh, deep on the brakes.
Shock run.
Shock run. We all want to visit Pamela, but, but that ain't the way to do it.
You lost a lot of ground there by that little moment.
Yeah, and this is a softer compound Pirelli tire, so it's a very, I would be suspect that it's a pretty easy tire to flat spot.
Lost a tire in practice, but no harm, no foul into 10A. And he does good under braking, does the 17. He's caught right back up despite that problem out of 7.
Yeah, this is going to be a good race, and you know, I'm sure he's enough of a fan of Trans Am to know who he's racing against there and to know what's at stake here. So that's going to be a pretty special thing, some pretty special bragging rights if he can pull this off. But I could just watch the front end of that Ultimate Headers Ford Mustang just struggling when there's air pressure there. That brake and release, you can see that bounce, that porpoising that we're talking about.
Yeah, a bit like the Andretti's, the Dollenbachs. It doesn't matter. If you've got a name like Dollenbach, and even Mum used to race, they all have some racing in them. Jake race, Paul races, Mike works here. You know, they've done Pikes Peak first and second, I think, one year. I mean, they've done everything.
Well, they were just, the Dollenbach family was just entered into Pikes Peak Hall of Fame, which I know is very special for them, and I think it's amazing for them to get that honor. It's probably long overdue, honestly, and his brother Paul is just an absolute legend there and a perennial winner, and just one of the all-time nicest families you could ever care to be around.
Yeah.
And, you know, love Wally's mom and dad, and you know, we always our thoughts are always with Wally Senior and Peppa. They're some of the just greatest people, and she used to take care of me back in the IndyCar days with credentials.
Oh, that's nice.
But a good battle out here as well. Chris Dyson still making headway. Now he's getting into traffic, and that could definitely change up exactly what we're going in. As we're seeing now, because of traffic, the gaps are growing between, and we're watching David Patera climb right back into this battle too, as he's gaining ground on Chakran.
Yeah, he's back up. Yeah, he's back up to 7th already. That's pretty impressive. But as you say, just passing Milton Grant there in the passing Richard Grant in the number 30. Chris Dyson, as we go on board, looking for that top speed again on his own. And last time we got what? He's about 175 plus, isn't it?
Yeah, he's 176 there. He lost 2 mile an hour from earlier, so don't know if he didn't get the drive. And maybe tire wear, he's not getting that drive off of turn 7, which is what I would be skeptical of. But Tommy is coming right back into this battle from that traffic.
Here's your leader in SGT, Danny Lowry, who, of course, had a busy weekend. He was in your race yesterday, and now here he is again.
Yeah, he is. He's right there in P10, you know, just behind Jason Hart, who flew in for this, and Jason is an excellent race car driver, been around a very long time, a very formidable GT competitor. And so honestly, when you have a GT car open and you're needing something last minute like that, he's definitely a good phone call to make. And so he's here to take that thing to the front of his class, which he's done. But yeah, Lowry there, we're watching, and you can see, I believe P4 is where Ken Twaits is, or P3 is Kenny Twaits. So and overall in TA.
Yeah, Kenny just jinking out and getting past the SGT car, no problem. A lot of horsepower underneath him compared to that Porsche, although that Porsche's probably pretty nimble through the S's.
Yeah, and absolutely, and will beat about anything in the braking zone there.
Now, what have we got going wrong here with, that's Weather's car, who gave it over to a man you know well.
Yeah, Jason's out of the car.
That's Jason Hart. What's happened here?
Jason's out of the car, and that's never a good sign. So, so as we just commentator curse, right? Sorry about that, Jason. That was not on purpose. You're going to get an interview here with Ben.
Yeah, let's head down to Ben Sissel. He's got Jason Hart.
Jason Hart, leading in XGT, just came into the pits. What happened, buddy?
We just picked up a driveline vibration that got pretty strong, so circulated in nice and easy, tried to take care of it, but I don't know if you can have a vibration that strong and continue, so we got something in the driveline. I don't think it was necessarily motor, more like a transmission drive shaft vibration. Motor was running fine.
Wow.
Yep.
Unfortunate for Jason Hart, who was leading in XGT, had to come to the side. Back to you, gentlemen.
Great stuff, Ben. Yeah, when you get a judder, when you get a thing like that, you've got two things to think about. The next race, and do you really want to blow this thing up or do any more damage?
Yeah, and I mean, Jason has a very acute feel, so you have to trust where he's coming from. He doesn't feel the engine. If the engine's strong, you feel it in the driveline, and if the driveline vibration's getting worse and worse, all you're doing is shaking other parts off the car. So he's showing that veteran race driver that he is by coming in and parking that thing before it does any damage, or worse yet, oils down the track or does something silly out there.
Adam, we got a little bit of action here from earlier. Cochran, let's take a look at what he comes up on one of the SGT cars, and he gets a little too close, and, well, you judge it.
Well, he got a little Optima battery sign action there at the apex, but a great save. I mean, talk about some car control to cross over the apex with the nose of the car like that and save it. So we got a little smoke here in Tommy Dreese's Ford Mustang, and
that's not good. And
I don't think that is favorable.
No, and he's losing ground massively to the leader of the race, Chris Dyson, and yes, that did not look good, did it?
No, it doesn't. It doesn't. And that's kind of where they've been struggling with a little bit is massaging this car to their tune. They got it last minute, so I don't think the smoke's going to go anywhere. I don't know where it's coming from, honestly, but I guarantee you Tommy can see it, and I guarantee you he's talkative on that radio.
Yeah, I'm almost tempted to have a listen in, but I daren't. There's no question that Tommy's got a problem of some sort, although as you can see, he's on the back straight. He's putting the foot to the floor.
Oh, yeah, no, he's not going to stop doing that. I mean, the old Bobby Unser theory, if you're driving through the wind, you'll put the fire out.
Yeah, there you go.
So yeah, it's obviously at speed it pushes all that around. So it could be there's header wrap, and the glue from the header wrap, the basically to keep the heat away from the driver. Sometimes that'll get on the headers and could cause that. If everything's running fine and he's got no issues, but he seems to have lost some gap. He's 2.8 seconds back on Chris Dyson now, and that's by far the farthest he's been.
Yeah, so that's really helped Chris Dyson, of course, who didn't finish last time out at the ROVAL last week. And Dyson just put in his fastest lap, a 1:19.5. So Dyson flying, Dreese with some problems, and definitely not what you want to see coming into your cockpit at any time.
Yeah, it's getting worse on him there. And obviously the slower you go into those sections, but it seems like he can't even carry the speed anymore, and the gap is just growing and growing and growing.
So drama indeed here in our TA XGT, SGT and GT race here from Road Atlanta. I've done it now. Road Atlanta.
That was my fault.
Yeah.
I started that trend.
Did.
Sorry about that, bud.
Road Atlanta. How can we forget? Of course it is.
No, of course not. But they're two great racetracks that we love where we're at here. And I don't want to rush. I want to rush to July when we're at Road America. We're here. We're March, and this is Road Atlanta, and it's a fabulous racetrack and a great place to be.
Tarek absolutely flying in 6th place now, so we'll keep an eye on that.
Ooh, that's sketchy right through there when you're catching traffic like that.
Yeah.
It's such a, turn 12 is really at speed is single lane at best, and when you have to share it with somebody and you're coming down there at 130 miles an hour, 140 miles an hour, it can be a bit hairy on this approach here. This is turn 2, 3. You really could dynamite the curve there in turn 3 and get an aim here. Turn 4, 5.
Okay,
for the S's.
We just heard Jason Hart says it could have been a broken drive shaft. More importantly, Tommy Dreese, it's a reverse lockout cable. And that's from Paul Gentilozzi, his team manager.
Oh, okay. Is that what's causing our issue here? Is that what they're saying? That's strange that's what would be causing the smoke. But taking a good look there at the Kreider Racing Ford Mustang. That's that Ave Riley chassis we've been talking so much about. He's back on the hunt and gaining on this Wally Dallenbach, Amy Ruman battle that's been developing as well.
Yeah, he's not too far off it. He really has recovered well, and he's recovering from health issues. He was not feeling 100% a couple of races ago, and at the start of the season at Sebring, pulled out of that one, but has literally got more and more confident. Now with the new chassis, he's really feeling good.
Oh, of course, there's definitely millions of Americans that commiserate with David Paterick that have gone through COVID, and that's what he's recovering from. And he's feeling better, obviously, as we've spoken about. He's good at that, like 80, 90%, as he said. And like in anything, you know, it's that last 10%, 10, 20% that's the hardest to get back. So as a battle, look here for
how about this?
Wally on the outside of Amy Rubin in turn 6.
Oh, side-by-side action. Two Trans Am champions going at it.
And this is going to be a crossover move by Wally, and he's going to sit there and try and keep speed up. And wow, look at that thing accelerate. I think Amy's got herself a little bit of an engine issue. There's she's down on power. I can honestly say that. No other reason other than how easily that was a rocket pass, or she just can't get the forward bite down at all because her top speed would look good. So I think it was something out of the corner there. She could not get the forward bite down, but really, really good textbook pass. Awesome racing by two Trans Am legends there, and Wally Dallenbach Jr. and Amy Ruman, 2 champs.
Yep, makes sense because Amy Ruman had a 1:22.8, just as Wally Dallenbach had, but her last lap a 1:25, so she slowed right down. And Cochran is out now after that little touch earlier and braking incident, and spins it round at 10B, but back out on track.
I believe he might have had himself another moment. Yeah, another little off-course excursion, as we call them, in driving school and OCE. So really, honestly, just held up Tommy quite a bit there through turn 12. But we're watching Wally here just really make great business of this Ultimate Headers Ford Mustang.
Yeah, he had a great run at Sebring, and like I said, in running in this, he's only the only one running in this heritage class this weekend. Said he didn't want to be in the overall championship. He doesn't want to get in the way of what Dyson's doing with his competitors, and the heritage class is perfect for him, and that's because he's got that older car.
Well, he's sitting there, you know, he's running a good pace and gaining on time. And you're going to watch David Paterick. He's also developing a battle here with Amy. Amy's backing up to him a little bit, and I again think Amy's having some tire wear. It seems like her car's just not handling the way it was early on in the race. We're watching some fall off, and she's been saying that they're trying to figure out where they need to be with pressures, especially at the start of the race and things like that. So, you know, I'm hoping that's what it is, and that it's not something more serious that's causing her lap time.
Well, we'll keep an eye on Paterick as he heads up turn 1 and over the crest, because he's very close indeed here. And he was telling us this is this section coming up through the S's is where he isn't as confident as he was in his older car, but he's getting to grips with it bit by bit.
Yeah, he said he's that's a great thing about David Paterick too. Many great things, but when he sits there and he's just so perfectly honest with you, and he goes, you know, I'm a race driver that races once a month. And you know, I don't get to drive that often, and so when he's by himself, his confidence level of knowing how hard he can push is not quite there, right? So when he gets out there with the group and he's racing, then he knows exactly how hard he can push. Let's see how Amy gets off of turn 7 here, because it seems to be, now the one thing I can think of and be skeptical too is she might be missing one of the lower gears.
Okay.
She may be out of first or second gear, but she got good drive off of 7 there that time.
Cochran into the pits and looks as though he's retiring the car. Yeah, Paterick opened up to you at Charlotte, and he said he was so happy to be in the car because he thought that it might be curtains in terms of after his illness, he wasn't ever going to get back to his full fitness, but it was an emotional time for him because he thought it was coming to an end for him.
Yeah, he truly did, and he wanted, you know, when it does come to an end, when he does, you know, we all have to finally hang up what we love, and what we're doing here is...
Except Mario.
Right. My Uncle Mario, but you know, he wants to do it on his terms, like any one of us would want to.
So visit Panama, the Corvette of, let's say, Cochran in the pits, and they're going to lift it up, but he's had...
Could be a possible tire puncture, maybe, is a possible deal here as they put the jack plate on there so that they can jack this up. You got 2 ways, you know, in the TA series. It is air jacks are legal, as we see those on a lot of the competitors. You know, this is maybe a different issue up underneath the car. Certainly not a tire, because they're not even going anywhere near that.
Well, I can see Ben out of the corner of my eye, and he's as always, keeping watchful eye. Boy,
Wow.
I mean, we've got the explanation, but it doesn't make it any more palatable, does it, watching this?
No, and right now too is you hope that Tommy isn't taking any fumes, and because that's another thing too is where there's smoke, there's fumes.
Well, he used to be slick mist, and he was getting missed then, but now he's Lucas.
Yeah, he's getting a steam bath now. but no, again, it doesn't seem like it's affecting the performance of the car, and it hasn't certainly affected Tommy's overall performance. He's still pushing lap after lap.
Well, the key for Tommy right now is if he can continue to circulate that, he's going to get major points for second place. And Pintarik coming into the pits, that's a real shame.
Yeah, we got a front row seat here. It's not on our broadcast right now, but David Pintarik is looking like he's coming into the pits very, very slow here. As we're looking on the track here, as Ken Thwaites is navigating the S's here. He's out of turn 5. Making a pretty work of it. His fastest lap of a 22.59. And he's sitting there really nicely. He's got that last podium position and a legitimate spot there. And he's just out there making his laps, making sure that Franklin Road Apparel Chevrolet Camaro just gets home after this 100 miles. We're past the halfway point now, Jonathan. There's only 17 laps left. We've had a clean race so far.
Yeah.
Dare I jinx it? I hope I don't. But absolutely a 100% clean race here with 17 to go and 44 minutes as the time limit.
Yeah, we just got word from Ben that the Cochran car was bodywork that they were looking for. So he obviously damaged some of the floor maybe, or some of the bodywork when he had those 2 offs.
The curbs here can be nasty if you hit them at the wrong spot. So the way they did drag across the one when I made my comment about dragging the nose across the apex like that, he I believe might have been the place that he did the damage, and there might have been a little bit of a grip change, and that might have caused him to have the second off that he had there.
So just to confirm, Dyson leading in TA. In the Heritage, it's Wally Dollenbach Jr. In SGT, Danny Lowry leading the way from Milton Grant. In XGT, Randy Hale leading the way. And in GT, Billy Griffin, the former champion, leading GT.
We're looking at Milton Grant right here in the number 55 Porsche. It's a beautiful looking car. He's making great laps out there. It's tough, right? When you're out there just all alone, it seems like almost like a lapping day for you. So at that point, you're really just focusing as a driver on how you can maximize the car and what you want to do to it to make it better next time, and start to use it kind of as a development day.
So we just got word from the pits that there's nothing wrong with Amy Ruman's car. It's just the tires are kind of going off on her, and that's kind of normal here, I suppose.
Yeah, I mean, it is. And again, like I said, they're still learning that. So it could be that the pressures have ballooned up past what they want to, and because there's an optimum air pressure for a race tire.
Well, I watched you have a long conversation with her at Charlotte about just that, and she said still learning it, right? Because she tested the new tires before the season started, and it's now round 3, and they're still kind of, learning.
Well, every track you're making notes, yeah,
right.
And every track they're learning, and basically their notebook is junk, because this new Pirelli tire is so different, and the 18-inch wheel. These cars are going so fast, Jonathan, and as we mentioned earlier, the records that we're breaking everywhere we go with these cars, and that Chris Dyson seems to be breaking, and it's incredible to see the speeds that they're carrying.
Now that is Ken Thwaites. He's currently in 3rd, and on his own, just behind Tommy Dreesen, but he's behind Tommy Dreesen. He's ahead of Wally Dollenbach Jr. on track.
Yeah, the field has gotten good and spread out here, so it's really everyone kind of getting in and settling into their own race.
Franklin Road Apparel, and of course that is the business that Ken runs in Nashville, Tennessee. And by the way, if you're looking for somewhere to go to, Nashville is definitely a race that you'd want to go to. Now, a little bit of a moment ago, what happens here to Ken Thwaites? Coming up on Richard Grant.
And then he's a little bit of a detour there in turn 3. It's easy to get the braking zone just a little bit off up there at the top of the hill and not commit to the turn in because it's really light on the rear. So I think he felt something that he didn't want to quite commit to that turn in there, and I think the discretion was the better part of valor, and he straightened up the wheel a little bit, did a little bit of off-road excursion. No worse for the wear. He's going to be out there and continuing that as we're looking underneath the hood of
Pintarik. Yeah, they came in without power, and or he came in, sort of cruised in, so definitely something wrong with that. They've got the hood off. Now you can get a closer look at this.
There's going to be a lot of competitors pausing this coverage later on to take a good look and see what was underneath the hood there.
Now here's our first real look at Randy Hale. And like I said, he had to start at the back, but he's currently circulating, and he's got away from the back because he's up to 9th now.
Yeah, Randy Hale, he's one of those competitors too. He's fun to have around. He's always got a big smile on his face, and just so happy to be out here competing in the Trans Am Series. And a beautifully liveried car. It always reminds me of like Richard Childress.
Yeah.
Racing livery, you know, from the NASCAR world with the big Chevrolet bow tie and wheeling. But yeah, it's always a treat to have him around, and he's doing a great job out there as well.
Beautiful day here in Braselton in Georgia, the home, of course, of Petit Le Mans. Talking of which, I was talking, we talk about expertise. Dyson was telling me, as he's coming up in his own traffic now, but Dyson was telling me he's done 11 Petit Le Mans around here, 3 or 4 podiums in Lola LMP cars, Porsches, Spiders, you name it. So that's why he knows this place so well.
Yeah, that's a lot of laps around here. That's an awful lot of laps around here. So we're going to get a good look here at Billy Griffin coming down the downhill at turn 12. That's a really great looking livery, as we spoke about last week at Charlotte. And, he's exploring other areas of Trans Am too, and you might see him in something besides the GT class, and that's what we see a lot of here in Trans Am. Jonathan, is we saw it in Kenny Thwaites. Yeah. He cut his teeth in SGT, and lo and behold, he grew into this awesome operation with Showtime, and big support here as a title sponsor and the CBS Sports broadcast. So it's really, really great stuff here.
Yeah, looking forward to seeing what Billy can do throughout the season. He's had the advantage that the competition has been slight, but it doesn't bother Billy. He's a former champion, and he will take it where he can get it. And he's driven this sort of car for a couple of years now. I love the new paint scheme with the eagle on the side.
He's been trying to learn the car, as we spoke. It's got a different downforce package on it, and from what he's used to driving. And with downforce comes trust. You need to be able to trust it. And as we're seeing, Chris Dyson is going to be right now. He's circulating to lap up to 4th place. He's catching on Wally Dallenbach. But don't turn your head on Wally Dallenbach, because he's actually closing the gap on that last podium spot overall of Kenny Thwaites.
Yesterday, Adam, Ray and watching your race, Ray Everingham and Wally Dallenbach were talking about how the car changes with that fuel load. And of course in TA you've got a bigger fuel load because you've got more power. How much does it affect you, the weight of that fuel then getting dissipated, obviously, and getting lighter?
Oh, it affects it a lot. Yeah, the car changes dramatically. Also, on top of that, you have the tire wear.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's
but
one of those.
When is it optimal? All things known.
Yeah.
When is the best time? Half a fuel load, still half tires, or what?
Optimum would be, is qualifying trim.
Okay.
Is the optimum.
So as least amount of fuel as possible.
You're as light as you're ever going to be. You've got as much, grip in the car as you're ever going to have.
But you can't really set your car up for a qualifying sit when you're going to do 100 miles.
Well, you can in Trans Am because they're not impounded afterwards.
Okay.
It's not like Formula One where they go into Park from A.
But does that work for you?
Oh yeah, I mean you can. Oh yeah, absolutely. No, you will. You work on qualifying trim and on race trim.
Well, let's tell the audience what. I'm sure there's a lot of guys out there wanting to know what you can change. I saw the brake bias. You mentioned that. What else can you change within the car?
Well, within the car in a TA car, you could change the bars, the roll stiffness of the anti-roll bars on the front and the rear. On the GT cars, I'm sure the adjustments even go further, like within the electronics, right? Because they have traction control and they have analog brakes and things like this. So when you have those kind of controls, it also you need great engineers on the pit wall to be able to talk you and guide you through those controls, because your hands are full as a driver. You're out there and you're focused and you're in the grid of these battles. So sometimes obviously you'll hit a spot and you'll be like, oh wow, change in here so I don't go through that again. And then sometimes your team will see a slight change on the stopwatch, and then they'll ask, and they'll guide you into a change.
Salasco Racing, and in the number 51, currently in 4th place in SGT, Don McMillan. We spoke to him on the grid. obviously enjoying his day out here at Road Atlanta.
Well, you're always going to enjoy a day here at Road Atlanta. This is, as we've said many times, one of the best. You see Wally coming up here navigating some of that slower traffic, and you got the dominant fashion here. Chris Dyson has just absolutely been flawless this entire race as he's coming up here to lap Ken Thwaites. So that would be lapped all the way up through third place.
That's pretty impressive,
just an
isn't it?
absolute dominant performance.
But Chris needed this. It was rotten luck last time out on the ROVAL, and he scored no points, or certainly wouldn't have scored the haul he would have done. Sadly, going out. So he wanted to bounce back big. And you're a big believer in this. Consistency is how you win here, and that's how Dyson did it last year, and it's certainly how Rafa, your teammate, did it last year in TA2. And that's what Dyson's trying to do, and that's how he did it last year.
Absolutely. I mean, he just went purple on the last lap, so he's not laying over either.
No.
You know, he's absolutely just flying out there, and you know, this is kind of the performance, like you said, not only he needed, but he wanted, and because this is also how you just plant yourself deep in the minds of your competitors. You know, a lot of what's going on out here is mind games, and as much horsepower as we know is underneath that Dyson hood, you can see Kenny Thwaites is not hurt for horsepower.
Nope.
Man.
Yeah,
getting down that straightaway. Good.
Not reeling him in, is he?
Yeah.
Under braking, maybe.
Under braking, yeah, but it's Kenny's holding a pretty wheel here, and he is not wanting to go a lap down easy here on Chris Dyson.
Dyson gets good drive out of 10B, and comes alongside Ken Thwaites and past. 10 or 9 laps to go now for Chris Dyson, our current champion and championship leader, but by only 1 point. But he's going to make hay in the sunshine of Georgia, and it's going to be a peachy day at the office for Dyson if he can pull this off.
And that just brought Wally into the battle for that last podium spot overall to Kenny Thwaites. I mean, that brought him in a good second and a half closer than he was before. So our good friend Kenny here on the Franklin Road Apparel onboard camera, he's going to have his hands full here in some more competition coming up in these last 9 laps here, Jonathan.
Well, Wally was on the podium at Sebring after a great run and looking to do the same again.
Tommy is 12.8 seconds now off, and you know, I know that this is probably not the major inside the car because the performance hasn't changed dramatically.
Yeah, but it can't be.
But this right here
so
is
distracting. Like you say, he's breathing that in.
Yeah, absolutely. No, those are the fumes that he's taking in. I mean, and you know, he's a little bit slower than what he has been over the past, so he's losing some time there somehow, some way.
Just shows you how tough some of these racing drivers are to do this. I'd have pulled over ages ago and gone home.
No, Tommy has a never give up spirit, that's for sure, and that's what kind of does separate these athletes is who's not going to give up, and if you've ever been on the same racetrack with the guy, he never does give up.
Yeah, and he goes past Amy Ruman as they both head up the hill. The number 8 Lucas car, the all blue. And that's an old car too. He would say it's some 18 years old, that car. And he's looking to get that new developed chassis that he and Gentilozzi are working on.
Yeah, that's another exciting project because they're going to take full advantage of the rule book and leave no stone unturned, and they designed that car specifically.
Now, how about this?
That 18-inch wheel package. Yeah, this is that battle for the last podium spot overall we're talking about. And Wally, he's got the grip between his teeth, man. His eyes have re-centered in his head from the porpoising, and he's feeling good now. He's ready to go. It's just under braking that I'm noticing it.
His comment to me earlier today was, I said, how you looking? He said, well, we missed so much practice, and we've had to sort of throw a lot of things at it, and we're going to do a Hail Mary. Well, it seems to be working. Somebody's going to catch that Hail Mary.
Yeah, he's got himself a heck of a run going here today, and we all know Wally, that's going to be a big smile from ear to ear at the end down there in Victory Lane.
And with all his history, clearly still enjoying being in a car and racing.
Yeah, that's the thing is once the bug gets you here, it never lets go. Racing is just one of those things that you could try and get away from it. It's going to keep drawing you back in once you're in it.
So we wait for them to come onto the main straight, and sure enough, Wally Dollenbach Jr. has passed Ken Thwaites for 3rd place. Now, Thwaites won't take that sitting down.
No, Ken's going to want that back, right? He wants that podium position, even though he's still technically a podium in Trans Am in the class. He wants that overall podium. It's always about overall. Don't let any of us fool you.
Well, Ken's smart enough to know that championships are won here here and there by just positions. It's all very well getting to Coda at the end of the year, but it's times like this where you make the effort to get that podium that can make the difference of 2 or 3 points at the end of the year.
Absolutely, and these are great points to take home after a bad race in Charlotte that he had as well with an engine failure, which is very, very rare for their engine supplier with ECR. So I think it's one of those deals where this is exactly what the team needed, that boost in the arm to get the boss back there where he should be, and that's up there on the box.
So we're getting into the business end of this. Chris Dyson has a, 14-second lead over Tommy Dreese. Dreese, though, with his own problems, does a lot of dirt and nasty smut coming out of his car. We're told it's a cable of sorts that is causing it. It's not an engine factor, and that's obvious by the fact that Tommy's still circulating well in the 121s at the moment.
Yeah, he has not lost a lot of performance on the car. He just was not able to keep the pace that Chris Dyson was able to keep throughout the entire race. And as the notebooks start developing for people, for the other teams with this new, this new 18-inch wheel package, this new Pirelli tire compound, it's going to take some time, and you're going to see it get more and more competitive as the year moves on.
Now, one thing I want to bring up, Lee Saunders, I saw him here this weekend. He had his sons with him. He was delighted to be here. I asked him how it was going. He said it was fine. I saw him yesterday. He looked rather furrowed and worried, and looking at the board, did not start. So whatever's happened to the Landsearch LLC car, the man from Florida not taking part this weekend, and that's a shame because he's one of our former SGT champions.
Yeah, and always a favorite in the paddock to have around too. So I hope all is well for Lee, and hope to see you again here soon sometime. But it's not what we have on camera. What we have on camera is the 42 car of Lowry. He is the SGT leader, doing a great job out there, having a great day, and it's been a flawless run for him. No, not a wheel wrong. And not only is he leading in class, 7th overall is a really good showing.
Back with Hale. Currently 9th overall and leading XGT up against Jason Hart. And of course Hart having pulled over with that drive shaft issue. How much? We've seen a lot of guys get in trouble going too heavily over the curves this weekend.
Well, the curves here it depends on how you've done your car setup for one.
Yeah.
If you know you're going to be a driver that attacks the curbs, you need to make sure you're communicating that with your team, because they have to set up the car to be more compliant for that. And honestly, in the cars I've always run here, you need to use the curbs to find some speed, especially in turn 3. So finding some of that compliancy within that is very, very important.
Adam, let me ask you this. Chris Dyson has, a 14, almost 15-second lead, 5 laps to go. Does he knock it off a bit or not?
It's one of those things, like right now, at this point in the race, he's already put himself into that control mode.
Yeah.
So, if you take yourself out of that and even take it back further, you can honestly take yourself out of a rhythm, and you can make a mistake and make it worse than what it is right now.
I had a feeling you were going to answer that, because that's exactly it. I've asked a few drivers that question in the past, and they said the worst thing you can do is change it, because you do lose some concentration and therefore that rhythm, and that can lead to an accident that you're not expecting.
That's very much true. Yeah, that's very much true. And we're seeing some traffic build up here on the downhill into turn 12, the roller coaster. As Tommy Dreese's going to come into a whole mess of it here down the front straightaway.
Just behind Griffin at the moment, Wally Dollenbach Jr. His fastest lap of 1:22.4, so he's flying at the moment in that Ultimate Headers car. It might be an old car, but it's still fast.
Oh, and I'm telling you, Wally always drives with the grip between his teeth. So, and I know John Cloud is going to be so proud to have that Ultimate Headers Ford Mustang up there in not only the Heritage win, but it's going to have that overall podium, which is always so special in a series like Trans Am.
Riding with Chris Dyson now as he comes out of 7th and onto the back straight again. And when you look at his hands, I always say, when I was watching your hands yesterday, you can see when a driver is comfortable and when a driver is fighting his car.
Yeah, absolutely.
For a long time yesterday, you were very comfortable.
Oh, yeah. I had a great race car yesterday, and but for sure, it's when you're in that zone, you open up your hands and you relax, you take deeper breaths. And I got to be honest with you, after Charlotte, I felt like I could go to the bottom of the ocean and back up. I was held my breath throughout the infield every lap, because it's such a tough place to get around. And here you get a really nice chance to breathe, and you got a long back straightaway, and you can really kind of take some things in from the lap and make sure that you are getting your right mindset down. And that's the key to any race driver, to any athlete, is that mindset, is to make sure that you're in the moment and you're not getting lost. That's the thing with Dyson. Like, you don't want to take yourself out of this rhythm. You don't want to take your lap times down, because that's, again, when you'll let your mind wander and you'll make a mistake, you'll miss a shift, you'll lock something, or hit a curb too hard. You could do something even nominal that could cost you this race.
Guys, wherever you're tuning in around the world on our live stream, just check out the dash there of Dyson. 160 going into turn 1, over 100 miles an hour through the S's, and he'll be getting up to what? 175, we predict, at the bottom of the hill just before braking, coming into turn 10A.
Yeah, and I mean, you'll watch. You'll see him at 175 to 178 miles an hour. It depends on his drive off of 7. Let's take a look if we stay on board here. And then you'll see him take all the speed off the car. And look what we're going to go in the corner. It's going to be 63 miles an hour. I mean, they're taking 100 miles an hour off the car in such a short amount of time. It's quite amazing. It's not only amazing how quick they accelerate, but how quick they slow down. And with this new wheel package, Jonathan, this new 18-inch wheel, they were able to get a lot more brake underneath this car. And so everyone's got bigger brakes now than they've ever had in a TA car. So this is fantastic. We're getting to have it's going to be a clean race here with 2 laps to go, Jonathan.
Yeah, it's the cleanest race I've seen in a long, long time. 2 laps to go. Wally Dollenbach Jr. currently in 3rd position and still racing in the Heritage Championship, remember. I say still, but, we weren't expecting him to be in a podium here. But he's done it again, despite the fact that he's missed a couple of practices, didn't get the setup he wanted. Felt like he was throwing a Hail Mary at it, but it's worked. And here he is in that Mustang.
He's driven a fantastic race. Nothing that we would expect that from him in this 4 car, but I love the livery. Again, a beautiful blue on that Ultimate Headers Ford Mustang, and he's definitely driven a great race. To bring it up here in P3, that's going to be a great celebration down there, and I can already see the smile on Jimmy Fraser's face.
Well, it's pretty interesting. We're going to have multiple champions on the podium. Dyson's got a championship. Dreesy's got a championship. Wally's got a couple. Not bad.
No, not bad at all. I mean, when you look at that, it's some good company that Kenny Thwaites is in there in that top 5, bringing it home. It looks like going to be, as he's run a super consistent race there in 4th place, right behind here, Wally Dollenbach.
Danny Lowry looking as though he's going to take the laurels in SGT. GT will go to Billy Griffin, and XGT, Randy Hale. And still the smoke continues out of Dreesy. This is a heck of a drive from Tommy Dreesy. I don't know what he's going to say afterwards, but I'm looking forward to Ben's interview with him.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. He's a soldier and he's staying out there, and I know what it's like to take in fumes for over a long race. And
I remember that's driver's side too.
Yeah, I tell you, food's gonna taste different for Tommy over the next couple days. He was in our truck the other day, in the Peterson Racing truck, heating Popeye's chicken, and I'm gonna tell you, Popeye's chicken isn't gonna taste the same to him for the next couple days.
Depends how often he has it.
Yeah, well, after all that, it seems like it's been 75 miles that's been going on. He's going to be very, very happy to see this checkered flag.
Yeah, no question about it. The gap has now dropped to 32 seconds now from Dyson, who's had 0 problems, to Dreesy in 2nd, who's done a great job of hanging on. Flames bursting out of the number 20 Altwell Mustang of Chris Dyson, who has been magnificent all day. He'll take the white flag now for the last slot. And as we go on board for a moment, you guys, well, you were telling me this morning, almost grew up together in the paddocks. Your father's raced, and obviously you've been around racing as an Andretti, and Dyson as a Dyson. His father, a great champion himself. But this is a big one for Chris, to get back in the saddle, as it were, after last week.
Oh, for sure. We saw him this morning. He was relaxed. He was focused. He knew what was at stake today, and yeah, we've been great friends for a long time, known each other for many years. We traveled these tracks. We got to watch people we admire, like our fathers and my siblings, in my case, get to race at the highest levels. And so to get to do this is certainly us fulfilling our own dreams. But at the same time, I know Rob Dyson is just glowing with pride with the job that his son is doing out here, and carrying on that family tradition, and carrying on that that heritage that they have there and what they've started here in motorsports. And it's a lot of unfinished business as he's still got to navigate a few corners here to bring it home. But you can see he slowed way down. Yeah, he slowed way down. He's got, 34 seconds. He's not going to bother with these GT cars. He's going to cruise up behind them and just hang out.
Fantastic stuff by Chris Dyson. Another immaculate performance, just as it was at Sebring. It didn't go his way at the ROVAL, but here at Road Atlanta, he's done it in style. Dyson defeats the rest of the field in TA to take the checkered flag, and that's a brilliant run by the number 20.
Boy, what a dominant performance by Chris Dyson. I mean, he just left the competition in the... I'll be anxious to find out what was going on there on the Lucas Ford Mustang there, because it'll be interesting to know if it caused any performance hindrances, and then maybe not in the car, but what was it doing to Tommy? Did it hurt his performance at all as he comes to the line here in that number 8 car?
And here comes your 42, Danny Lowry. Long weekend, but a good weekend. An SGT win in 7th overall, beating Milton Grant in 3rd, Carey Grant. So father beats son, as predicted. By Carey, to be fair.
Yeah, that was a pre-race prediction, wasn't it, on the grid there with Ben?
And in XGT, it'll be Randy Hale, 10th overall, and the winner in XGT, Jason Hart, sadly not finishing the race on behalf of Mike Weathers, calling it the last moment. And in GT, Billy Griffin will take victory in GT.
Yeah, Lowry here is circulating, turns 10A, 10B as he's yet to come across the line here, up and over the hill underneath the bridge there. It comes down the hill, turn 12 to get the line. And the big win in SGT.
Yep, and the Bridge Hall car, good to have them on board this season.
Yeah, Bridge Hall's come in as huge supporters throughout the whole Trans Am paddock, and love to see that. And, check them out. Check them out for any of your needs out there that they supply. Great product. Chris Dyson on the Altwell on board here, this Ford Mustang, as he's doing a celebratory lap. This is when you like to thank the fans, and also can't forget those corner workers. They are the unsung heroes of what we do here on the weekend. They risk life and limb a lot of times for us. They do it on a volunteer basis a lot of times, and we certainly appreciate them. That's a thankless job in a lot of ways. Off into victory lane here, sharp right-hand turn, his favorite one all weekend long.
Yeah, that's the best turn of all, the one that says, into victory lane you come. And in a moment, we'll get Ben Sissel to talk to them.
And the champagne has no choice but to be cold today, Jonathan.
It's going to be cold, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been chilly here. The sun's been shining, but it's been very chilly throughout the weekend. And breezy, too. We had gusts of up to 45 yesterday. And we'll see that smiling face with Chris Dyson fairly soon, I would have thought.
Yeah, he'll emerge from this. He's probably, I'm sure, waiting for some of his team to make their way down there and, and make the...
And let's just remind our audience, CD Racing are not just involved in Trans Am. Chris is doing programs right around the country, dirt, short track, you name it.
Yeah, he's got a USAC Silver Crown team. Cody Swanson drives for him, and he is committed to the sport, and CD Racing does nothing but put the best product out there, and love that group of men and women down there. They're a fantastic group to be around, and they deserve all the success. They put in the hard work. Not that not everybody does, but it's just great to see them have their success that they have. Fantastic job, Chris.
I'm sure Paul Menard is watching at home and thinks to himself, well, I couldn't come this weekend, but I'm coming back because I'm not going to let him run away with it. So that's going to be a big points haul for Chris Dyson. Well done to him. As we saw, the star command by the CEO of Plaid, as you see on the overalls there, off Chris. So an important weekend, a lot of very important guests. And let's head down to Ben Sissel, who has got Chris Dyson.
Chris Dyson, unbelievable. I know you love Road Atlanta, but that has to feel really good.
Yeah, the car was just absolutely fantastic today, Ben. I got to say, we always have a lot of fun down here in Atlanta. We've been strong here. Today was just an absolute great display of what this team is capable of. All weekend long, car right off the truck was absolutely brilliant. We've got some guests here from Plaid, and I've got a lot of friends here. Hi to the family at home. Just so happy to have the Altwell car back here in Victory Lane. This is great for points. Tommy pushed me the whole way, and I think we had a little bit in hand, and I'm really excited now heading into the next few races.
Nice. Well, congratulations, Chris Dyson at Road Atlanta. Great job, Tony. We'll come around and we'll talk to Wally Dallenbach, who had a great showing with us in the Heritage class, winning the Heritage class. Wally Dallenbach, little ding right here. Maybe he'll tell us what happened there. But Wally, two-time Trans Am champion in the Heritage class. How does that feel?
It feels good. The car, we didn't get much practice. We threw a bunch of stuff at it last night, like we did at Sebring, and it seemed to work out pretty good. Just try to take care of everything for the first half of the race, and then go. So yeah, it was a blast.
I was just about to ask you that. I noticed that you were kind of playing it conservative at first, just feeling things out, and then you just took off like a rocket ship.
Yeah, I think it probably maybe even more of those guys getting off their cars a little bit, or off their tires a little bit.
Understood.
But I knew that we had to just take care of everything as much as possible, so it worked out.
Is it fun to be back in the Trans Am series?
It's so much fun. I mean, I'm back home. This is what I was born to drive right here. I love these things.
I love it. Wally Dallenbach Jr. Awesome. Let's talk to Tommy Dreese over here. Let's go over to Tommy Dreese in that Lucas Oil Mustang. Lots of excitement here at Road Atlanta. Dreese. Let me let you get out of the car. We're going to need to try to get a shot of that. See what he's doing down here? He's not breakdancing. He's got oil on the floorboards, it looks like, coming out. Tommy, it seems like you might be happy with the second place. Were you driving a dog out there at the end?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how many laps it was, 5 laps, 8 laps. We were just easy behind Dyson, just dogging him, and I could tell he was really pushing. And then there was a little lap where he got a little gap, and I could tell he's like, okay, I can ease. Like I could feel, okay, maybe I can take it easy this lap, and bam, I was right back on him. So I thought maybe we go to work for an hour like that, and then I get to the little back short chute to AB, and my foot slipped off the brake pedal, 150 miles an hour, and I just got lucky, and I used my right foot. My left foot went right to the floor, just past the pedal, and it looked like there was and then it started really smoking pretty bad in the cockpit, and the team kept me calm. They said, look, you gotta, I still wanted to fight, and then my foot slipped off the brake pedal again, and I said, shit, this is, this is dangerous. The Lucas 3 GT guys and girls and all the people back at the shop, I mean, they just did a good job. This thing was so ready for battle. I mean, God darn it, but we'll fix these little things, man, that keep chasing us. But overall, this car is fast. Dyson knows it, and I'm coming.
Nice. The car is fast. Dyson knows it, and Dreese's coming, he says. Billy Griffin told me at the fan walk that this GT class car, let's get a shot of this. This is a GT ahead of a lot of XGT and SGT. What a race for Billy Griffin.
Yeah, I'm really proud of the way this car ran today. It was pretty awesome. I had a great run. I felt like I wanted to go another 100 miles. I hope there was enough fuel. I would have. The car just got better and better. It was the best race I had in a long time. I really feel comfortable. It was wonderful. I'd like to thank my wife and my family and my friends for coming and helping me and supporting me through all this craziness. I hope I never have to stop doing this. It's awesome. Thank you, sir.
Nice.
Thanks,
Billy Griffin, way to go. We're going to come over here and talk to Danny Lowry. Danny, jump over here. SGT, way to go, man. How did it feel?
Ooh, it felt fantastic. I kind of had a little advantage on these boys because this is my home track and I got a lot of laps here, so I tried to put them to good use.
Nice, I love it. I could tell by your accent this may be your home track. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're about to do the winner's circle celebration. I'm going to send it back to you guys, gentlemen.
Great stuff, Ben, and a real insight in there. Hats off to Tommy Dreese. What a drive. Let's take a look at some of the highlights from round 3. We started off with a little bit of wheel spin for the leader and pole man, and also a little bit of a spin for the 57, David Benterick, getting crowned. But then the battle was on between first and second, and as Dreese pointed out, he was on it today for the first part. But then, look at this. Smoke started pouring out. The team kept him calm. And also calm, as you like, was Wally Dallenbach Jr. Back in action in Trans Am. Ken Thwaites takes some grass tracking for a moment, but carries on. And Dollenbach was able to get past. But a good race across the board. But Dyson is dominant on the day.
Yeah, for Tommy Dreese, you know, it's never a comfortable feeling when you have their foot slipping off the brake pedals. We take a look at the top 10 here.
Yep, here is confirmation of the result then. Chris Dyson in the Altwell TA car takes the win in the Mustang. Dreese second. Wally Dollenbach Jr. for the Heritage is in third. Then Ken Thwaites, Amy Ruman, then it's Grant, Lowry, Milton Grant, Billy Griffin ninth, and Randy Hale in the Whelan Engineering car, number 31 in 10th. Further down, Cary Grant, McMillan, Cochran, pulling in the end there, Pintarek, Hart, and Gluck also not finishing. So good racing throughout this, and there was a good battle in SGT, but it was dominated in the end by Danny Lowry. Away they went then, and of course the SGT class just behind here, and as it started to unfold, there you see the Porsche, the Bridgehall Porsche of Danny Lowry. He raced yesterday. Sadly, the 47 went out. That's Byron Gluck going out, and that was one less to worry about, if you will. And the closest to him was Milton Grant, and in third place, Cary Grant. And there is Milton in that number 55. And of course in GT, Billy Griffin does the business and takes victory in that one. Danny Lowry then in SGT, Billy Griffin in GT.
Yeah, they had a fun race there in GT, got the job done and came home in one piece and getting all ready for the next round that we go to there at Laguna Seca, Jonathan. But good races all the way around. It was a flag-to-flag run here. We had 0 cautions, so everyone drove super clean. Got to be pretty proud and happy with the competition and how they did that. And the Pirelli tires did a fantastic job here. So great job for Pirelli and getting that game figured. And yeah, it's really, really good weekend here at Road Atlanta.
And one more thing, of course, we always talk about our chill out move and chill out moment. And we think this weekend should go to Wally Dollenbach. The chill out, keep cool move of the race. Chill out systems. Here he is on Amy Ruman, and this is pretty impressive. On the outside of a fellow champion, but nothing lost in the great man that is Wally Dollenbach Jr. Passing Amy Ruman and going through to third overall. Well done to him. He is our chill out, keep cool move of the race.
Those chill out systems are amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. You have to turn them down. They keep you so cool. I mean, they're quite incredible, the systems that they have. So they're proud to have them as a. I've been a proud recipient of 2 of those. So
there you go.
Yeah, I've been able to put it to good use. And love that.
All right. Well, talking of cool under pressure, let's go down to Ben Sissel. He's down on the podium.
All right, well, ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it. The Trans Am Series presented by Pirelli here at Road Atlanta. Get loud. Come on, we can get louder than that. What a great weekend here for round 3 of the National Championship Series. In the GT class, first place. Let's hear how loud you guys can get. Give it up for Billy Griffin. Billy, we talked at the fan walk. You said you're going to make your way through the GT field. That's tough to do in a GT car. How's it feel?
Felt great. A lot of fun. Being the only one up here, you say if you're not first, you're last. I'm kind of both right now, so I'm a little confused. But other than that, I had a really lot of fun out there. The car was the best it ever was. It was good to have my full team here. Jeff, Hasnay, Scott, even Robert, the new addition, and Renee. We worked on the car. We got it down, dialed in pretty good. So I wish it was that good in Charlotte so I could have had a better run with Natalie, but that's okay.
Thank your wife.
Thank my wife. Thank you, honey. Thank you, Crystal. Oh, there she is. Thank you, sir. Yeah.
Billy Griffin, ladies and gentlemen, get loud. That was tough, passing a lot of SGT, XGT cars. Hold up that Pirelli hat. Billy Griffin, first place, GT, that beautiful Griffin Ford Mustang with the Griffin on the side of it. Now we go to Super GT. I talked to Cary Grant at the fan walk, and he said his goal was to finish on the podium. I asked him, what about beating his dad? He says, I'd like to beat my dad, but he's got it dialed in. Let's hear third place, Cary Grant from Memphis, Tennessee. In second place and in first place in the Masters, his dad that he just could not get around. Let's hear it. Milton Grant, second place, SGT. First place, Masters. And then in first place, doing a lot of miles in the Trans Am Series this weekend, hometown boy, let's hear it. Danny Lowry, ladies and gentlemen. This is his home track. Cary Grant, how's it feel to be up here on the podium again at Road Atlanta?
It feels great. I'd like to thank my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ for giving me the opportunity and the ability to do this. Everybody at Trans Am, great day, beautiful weather. Just need to be a little faster. My right foot wasn't heavy enough today, but I had a great time. Thank you.
Nice. I love it. Cary Grant, right foot wasn't fast enough. He even told me, he says he's going to have a hard time getting around, I think he said, Pops. You've got a lot of experience here. How does it feel? I know you love getting in the step above your son.
Yes, I do, of course. I don't know how long that's going to last. Yeah, I'd like to thank God again for this beautiful day. And I've got this weekend both my sons here and one of my granddaughters. So it's a great weekend, and it really had a good time and enjoyed racing with Danny. So thank you.
I love it. The Grants and then Danny, man, what a great weekend for you. How was it out there?
Well, you know, as they say, there's no place like home. And having a lot of laps here means an awful lot if you want to go fast, and I was fortunate enough to have the home field advantage this weekend.
Nice. I love it. You want to thank anybody?
I want to thank Ricky Sanders Racing for all the support, my lovely wife Paige, and all the rest of my family. God bless everybody.
Nice. I love it. Let's hear it, ladies and gentlemen. Cary Grant, Milton Grant, and Top Masters, and Danny Lowry out there showing us how it's done. The beautiful new Crystal Sensations trophies. Every year those trophies are amazing. Thank you so much, Crystal Sensations. One more time, Atlanta, let's hear it. Cary Grant, Milton Grant, Danny Lowry. Milton Grant, congratulations on Masters. Gentlemen, thank you so much. That was a good show. Good stuff. All right, look out. Look out, Michelle. Oh, Cary's going for it. There we go. Oh, right to his dad. Oh, he said, don't get in the face. That's awesome. Super GT, ladies and gentlemen. Congratulations, guys. XGT started out from where I stood last on the grid, came through in that beautiful wheeling Chevy Corvette. Was late to my fan walk, though. Let's hear it, Randy Hale. Come on, Atlanta, get loud. Randy Hale, you got to get up on that top step, dude. Randy, thanks for bringing that car out. How was the race?
That was great. The Whalen Engineering car was fantastic today. AMCO built a great transmission over the winter and stayed together, shifted great, and all the Marsh Racing guys did a great job for us. So just want to thank Diane, who's here, and my two kids at home, Skylar and Randy, who helped support us. So it's all good.
Nice. Man, a few words. Brand new shoes, though. That's sharp. Let's hear it. Randy Hale. XGT Extreme GT. All right, Atlanta, get loud for Extreme GT. Randy Hale. That beautiful Chevrolet Corvette. Randy, thanks for bringing that out. Whelen Engineering car. Thank you, Randy. All right, this is going to be kind of fun. We're going to do something a little bit different here. In TA Heritage, I want to hear it for a two-time Trans Am champion, Wally Dallenbach Jr. Also commentated the TA2 race yesterday. And I've been following Wally a lot in the last couple of years. That used to be a red Ford Mustang. Now it's the ultimate headers Ford Mustang. Wally, get up on that top step. Hey, and then I'm going to have you stick around for some photos. But Wally, I love having you back in the Trans Am Series, and it seems like you're having a blast as well.
I am. I'm just enjoying it so much. Today was great. Got to thank all the guys at Cobra. I mean, Steve, Adam, Tommy, they've worked their butts off on this car, and especially John Cloud. John really got me back into driving about 3 years ago or 4 years ago for V-Rock, and I'm having so much fun. The Trans Am Series is such a blast. I enjoy racing with everybody, so looking forward to the rest of the year.
Do you feel like you're home?
Absolutely. This is home for me. It's kind of funny how you come full circle. But, yeah, these are my favorite cars to drive, and I've got a pretty good one right there. So, yeah, looking forward to some more races.
Nice. I love it. All right, let's get some photos. Wally Dallenbach Jr. Stay up there, Wally. Do we need to do anything? Is he good? Hats? We good? All right, hold on now, Wally. Stay up here, though. Now, in Trans Am, the big 850-plus horsepower, winning the Masters division, coming in third. Let's hear it for Ken Twaits. Come on, guys. Ken Twaits of FranklinRoad.com. Ken, nice job. In second place, he stepped out of the car, right out of the car, and his bottom of his race shoes were just caked in oil. Hard fought second place. Give it up, Tommy Dreesy. Careful coming up here, Tommy. Your shoes are slippery. That's the champagne. The sticky stuff's the champagne. And then, ladies and gentlemen, just showing us how it's done in that beautiful number 20 Altwell Plaid Ford Mustang. Let's hear it, Chris Dyson. It's got a lot of family and friends here. There we go.
Hey, buddy.
Family, friends. See? All right, Ken Twaits. Man.
Nice.
Up on the podium with us again. How does it feel?
It feels great. You know, I come up here and I make jokes and stuff, but I'm not going to do it this time. Thank you, Gary Seelix Jr., all my crew there. These guys worked their tail off. Thank you, FranklinRoadApparel.com. Go there. And, you know, and all our sponsors that help us out, man. Wally and I had a great battle there. It was a little battle. Anyway, it was fun.
Nice. I love it. Ken Twaits. And Wally, how cool is it to hear the name Gary Seelix Jr. out here?
I know.
It's like
coming full circle.
Full circle, he said. Dreesy, man, you stepped out of the car, and I know that this podium probably means a lot. It's really tough to drive these cars, but it's really tough to finish on the podium in a car you're fighting most of the race.
No, I thought the first 10 races, you know, I said, this is going to be a good first 10 laps. It was going to be a real great show for everybody. You know, we got to like lap 6 or 7, and we were pushing pretty hard. And Dyson had like maybe all of a sudden at 3 car lengths, and I could tell he backed out just a touch. And I was right back on him, and I'm like, oh, you want to rest, huh? And I would have pushed him the whole race, but he was flawless. The team did such a great job all weekend. I mean, they had issues. They changed an engine, got it out there to put it on the pole. Yeah, I thought coming on for the start, you know, it usually goes green when you have wheel in it, and I kind of like try to squeeze Dyson to have more wheel in it, and he's like, no. He's no. So, so we got a little run on him, but yeah, turn 1, we went in there, and great fighting with him. Congrats to Wally and Twaits. Twaits, thank you for everything you do for the series, and Dyson and everybody. 3GT, these guys never give up. There's little issues with the car that we're trying to figure out, and when it's working, it's fast. You know, had some kind of leak, had a lot of smoke in the cockpit, and I said, oh shit, you know, what's going on here? And then all the oil got on the floor, so I was going to turn AB on lap 8 or something like that, chasing Dyson, and my foot slipped off the brake pedal, and it happened like a few times, and I just said, you know, thanks to Lucas, Lacey, Jagger, Elin. Thank you to Trans Am, everybody, all the fans out there. Thank you.
Are we going to get a famous Dreesy selfie here? I'll hold your Crystal Sensations trophy. You guys all squeeze in there. Tommy Dreesy, you need to follow him on social media. He does this at every podium. And there are a lot of selfies on Dreesy's social media. And Dreesy, it's got to feel good to be up there with Wally Dallenbach, too.
Oh, yeah. Two-time champion.
Dyson.
He's all right.
Yeah, you like the grippiness? Yeah, it's
I
nice.
should have that on the pedals.
Yeah, exactly. Dyson, what a race. Tell us about it.
Well, Ben, it was
Thanks,
just a
Johnny.
fabulous weekend for the team. I couldn't be more proud of the
Yeah,
guys.
just,
we had a lot of
give me
adversity
a
last week at Charlotte. We had an engine problem yesterday in qualifying, and just to come out here and just have a smoking good day. Great qualifying yesterday. I'm honored to drive
just give me a
for this
roundup what you
team,
want.
and I'm proud to call them my own, and just so grateful, kind of overwhelming, and to have friends
Perfect.
here, my
And
supporters,
by the way,
friends
just
from Plaid,
a note for
friends
Dan.
from Washington and Lee University here. Family.
Maxie?
It's just fantastic, and
I got it.
I'm really feeling
One more
like we're gonna
thing.
have a great season. Can't wait to get to California now.
Nice. Chris Dyson. Yeah, we will be at back-to-back Laguna Seca and then the Mission Foods Sonoma Speed Tour. So let's hear it. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get some pictures with these guys. Ken Twaits, Wally Dallenbach Jr., Tommy Dreesy, Chris Dyson. There we go. Look at that. Oh, let's see.
No, that's my mic.
He was trying to get it to us, he said. There you go. Oh, Ashley, you got to have better hands than that. All right, hold those trophies up, gentlemen. Let's hear it. Wally Dallenbach Jr., Ken Twaits, get loud, Atlanta. Tommy Dreesy, Chris Dyson. Unbelievable. Ken Twaits, top masters. Wally Dallenbach, third overall, quite impressive. Tommy Dreesy, it's tough to drive a car like that, man. That was impressive. Way to go. Uh-oh, champagne's coming. Ken Twaits, don't panic. Uh-oh, what's about to happen? Uh-oh. Oh, Dreesy's the first to pull the trigger. Chris Dyson, one out for the homies. Tommy Dreesy, oh no, and then Ken Twaits. That was ugly, gentlemen. You guys got to do better than that. Dyson, one out for the homies. A lot out for the homies right there. Cheers, he says, everybody. Where is Larry Bishop? Is he out there? Is Larry out there? He says he wanted to come up here. I guess not. All right, so our Top Gear, MCO, wait, hold up, stay up here, man. And Dallenbach, don't go too far. Get back up there on that top step, if you can see, Dyson. Our MCO Top Gear Award winner goes to Chris Dyson, $500. Okay, stay up there. And then Wally Dallenbach, our chill out systems for all these great passes. Hold up these Happy Gilmore checks. It's gonna keep you cool. Wally Dallenbach Jr., chill out, move of the race. Chris Dyson, MCO Top Gear Award winner. That is cool. 2 Trans Am champions right here on stage at Michelin Raceway Road Atlanta. Hey, congratulations, man. Good start. Wally, great show. Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, that does it for the Trans Am Series presented by Pirelli here at the Atlanta SpeedTour, Michelin Raceway Road Atlanta. Stick around for autographs. We will be back here next year. We love coming to Road Atlanta. Thank you guys so much from the Trans Am Series.
Thanks, Ben, and my thanks to Ben Sissel, to Scott Conway, to Wally Dallenbach Jr., and to Ray Everingham, and of course, Adam Andre this afternoon. Another magnificent muscle car weekend at Road Atlanta, and we've been doing this since 1966, and I would proffer that Trans Am is as strong as ever in 2022, as Road Atlanta proved. It was a great weekend, a dominant day for Dyson in TA, and yesterday, a sensational show by Mike Skeen, as Skeen won handily. We'll be back next time from Laguna Seca from me, Jonathan Green. Until then, I hope you've enjoyed our coverage. Stay with us for the rest of the season.
Lightweighting means reducing mass and consolidating parts. No one tackles these design and tooling challenges better than 3-Dimensional Services. We'll provide flexible tooling solutions, including integrating parts, reducing design complexity, or even design changes. We're the go-to source for rapid manufacturing and low-volume production. Trust 3-Dimensional Services to develop the most efficient approach to meet your lightweighting challenges today. 3-Dimensional Services. Prototype, production, proven. If your tooling isn't quite ready, and you need parts, and you need more parts than just a few, or if your run is just not that big, look to the experts in low-volume production, 3-Dimensional Services. Whether it's 10, 100, or 1,000 parts, we can meet your needs. And if it's 10,000, we can do that too. 3-Dimensional Services delivers high-quality parts for short runs, 70% faster than industry standards. 3-Dimensional Services. Prototype, production, proven.
Menards is the Midwest's ultimate home improvement store. Family owned since 1958, Menards is the one-stop shop where you always save big money. Get the Midwest's best selection nationwide when you shop online at menards.com. We make it easy to complete your projects around the house, big or small. From hardware to plumbing or paint to appliances, we carry it all. Visit menards.com today to save big money at Menards.
Save